Welcome to Wrinkles Society of Hope. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support Wrinkles. Today, you are going to hear an amazing story from one of our Wrinkles women. And if you would like, please hit subscribe and share our Wrinkles channel. Hit that notification bell so you can hear about the new stories that come forward. And we are also on Apple Podcasts and we are on Spotify. So you can listen in if you're unable to view the YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here and I hope I get an interview with you. Hello, Wrinkles family. It's been a while. I know. You all. Thank you for continuing to press through your wrinkles. But I am excited to start back strong. We have taken a little break since I was in medical surgery and things, and I had to start back with this lady. I've been chasing her down for a while. She's a mighty, mighty woman in her community, and I wanted to bring her to the Wrinkles family. So I'm going to let her introduce herself today.
All right. Well, my name is Vanisha Lashay Rothenberg. I am a lot of things, a wife, a mom. I work in ministry with my dad. I work a full-time job as well as a forensic interviewer. So I do a lot of different things, and God has been good, and I'm excited to be on here today.
Oh, thank you so much. We are both PKs. Yeah.
Yes, we are. You know what? And I was hanging out with your mom and your dad this past week. Like, we were with them at the marriage retreat. Yes.
Yes, I heard marriage retreat, and they was getting it down. I heard about it.
Yeah, my dad. I'm like, he got moved. So, the mom too.
And we're PKs from Pinal County as well. So. Right. That's another thing we have in common. Pinal County is where the county where we're from in Arizona. So, you know, the Dust Bowl of Arizona, the heat patch, I call it, of Arizona.
And it's a heat patch at this very moment, like this, what is this? July, it's been hot. So
it's a heat wave right now. It's definitely a heat wave. So
I pray.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I pray it passes by soon.
Yeah, because this is not nice at all. I don't like it at all. Well, you know, as we go through the heat wave in life, especially the heat wave in Arizona, our bodies and our skin and things change in the heat. But as we grow older, our body changes too, in our face and things like that. You're still a young buck, but how would you feel if you get a physical wrinkle, a physical change of showing of aging? How would you feel about that?
You know what? And I really thought about this question too, because, you know, we live in a day and age to where society and social media, they want to fix every single thing with Botox surgery or whatever. I'm telling you, it's something out there, but when I really read the question, I was like, how would I feel? You know, and I think that I would embrace it because it's a part of you. It's a part of wisdom. It's a part of the journey. And that's what I took from it. Like, I definitely would embrace, because I feel like with age, you gain more wisdom. You gain more perseverance, more endurance. And then it just teaches you how to pass that on to somebody else and somebody younger. So I definitely will embrace everything about aging when that comes. So
yeah, it is a journey. I mean, you know, it's an unexpected journey sometimes. And in life, we go through some unexpected journeys. We have some unexpected wrinkles that hit our lives. Can you share about during your journey, an unexpected wrinkle that hit your life?
I've had many unexpected wrinkles in life, but I would say one of the ones that really shaped me into the woman that I am today is when, I believe in my early 20s, is when I had went through a divorce. You know, I thought that I was meeting my Prince Charming, but in the end, it didn't work out between us. And I felt like that was really something that I had to press through and press past, but it took a minute. But eventually I got through it because, sometimes we think we found love. Even it could be, and I always talk about this, it really doesn't matter whether you're like in the church or because sometimes it's people in there too that, and like you said, the church is for like hurting people. So I get that. But just because sometimes somebody is in the church, that it still may not mean that that person necessarily is the right person for you. Like God, he will ordain your purpose partner for you. Like you'll know, you won't have any reservations, any doubts or anything about it. But even through that process, God taught me a lot. I learned perseverance. I learned endurance. I learned how to find myself and how God, and I allow God to redefine my worth because I had lost myself at one point in time with the divorce because it made me feel like I was unworthy. Like I would never find somebody else that would love me and that I was flawed. But how many the power of God can change the situation, and then that's what he's done for my life. So I'm very grateful and thankful even for the wrinkle, because if it wasn't for that wrinkle, like I wouldn't be who I am today. Like I wouldn't have confidence. Like I was always an extremely shy girl and also like a yes person. So I thank God that he delivered me from that. And I'm more confident. I'm more bold. Like I know who I am. I know my worth. I know my value. I can stand on my own 2 feet, whether somebody's with me or not. Like I know how to be who God called me to be. So, and I think that's the most beautiful thing that I've gotten with that wrinkle, and I've pressed on past it. So yeah.
That's so amazing. That's so true. Was it difficult being in the church and going through divorce?
It was, because a lot of times church does not want to talk about divorce. It's like, I mean, as a child, it's like, oh, when you get married, you gotta be married if you want to live with somebody, or if you want to, like, when y'all get married. But sometimes they don't talk to you about divorce. And I mean, like reality wise, a lot, like 50% of the world and church, like, that have gone through divorces, and that's the reality of it. That's the statistics of it. And I think we as the body of Christ have to talk more about those things, because it's like, once you get divorced, how do you overcome? Like, how do you get through it? And the different emotional stages that you go through. Because we focus so much on marriage, like, you need to get married, you need to do this, but then what happens if things don't work out? And it could be for different reasons, and I'm not saying and that's one of the things that I did want to talk about too, because I'm not pushing divorce or breakup. I firmly believe that if you can work it out, allow God to help you get through that situation to work out your relationship. But in reality, sometimes you may have a person that's willing and wanting to put into the relationship, and then the other one is completely like not even wanting to invest into it at all. So I feel like it was hard for me, because I can remember when I did go through my divorce, I didn't even want to go to church. I was like, Mom, I don't want to deal with no church folks, because I didn't want to be judged. And I didn't want them, saying mean things, because I had already started hearing some things circulate about me already. And it was just, it hurt. I'm not going to lie. Like, some of the things that people said about me hurt, but my mom always encouraged me to just keep on going to church. And because at the end of the day, I wasn't going for other people. I was going for myself and my relationship with God, and to have, commune with him. So
I think that's a really good point, that sometimes, in the church, as a church community, we need to remember that words hurt, and,
yes.
And that people make mistakes, even marrying the wrong person, So when people are in the church and they hold this expectations of other Christians, and the words that people use are sometimes hurtful when they're trying to either give advice, or preach, as I say, preach the word to you about your situation.
Yes, I got it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you fought through that, and like your mom, gave you that advice to continue in the strength, because you need the word to get through this stuff, you know. And that's the thing. I think more and more as a church community, I always tell my kids, like, I know you're human. You know, and I think if we starting the conversation with that first, then provide support, maybe the conversation will go better.
I think so. No, I love that. I definitely believe that.
So looking back on that situation, what would you tell yourself? What advice would you give yourself?
I think the advice that I would give myself looking back is to really get to know me first and who I am. Because, and like I had mentioned, you know, before, with society, it's like you see all these relationship goals. Like, I want this relationship, I want that. Like, oh, I want this type of wedding when I get married, and just really not looking at, like, let's make sure I'm straight first. Like, let's make sure I'm healed from whatever it could be, past trauma, even parental trauma, like things that happen with your parents. And because you don't want to carry any type of baggage into a relationship with the person that you're supposed to be with, because you don't want to bring that person down with past hurts and traumas that, you know, happened in the past. So it's just important, like, be healed and whole first before you even think about, you know, jumping into a serious relationship. Get to know you, like, enjoy the single season, like, get your finances in order, get your house in order, learn how to do some things, prepare to be that wife, or prepare to be that husband to the person that you want to be with. So that's something I believe that's necessary to get to know yourself.
So necessary. I remember my mom always says, you have to have me before you have we.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And I used to stick with that all the time, you know, in the dating process. And I know that you just left a marriage retreat with the Message Church. Talk a little about when God brought you the mate that he chose for you.
Wow. Yes. I'm like, it's funny because we were just talking about this last week, but I had known Davon for years because our family's, like, my brother is married to his sister. So, like, I had always known him for a long time. He actually knew me before I got married the first time. So we had a lot of history of knowing each other. So even with us going on 4 years now, I feel like I've known him for longer. I feel like we've been married longer than what we actually have been. But yeah, so it was crazy because I had, even after the divorce, I had dated in and out, you know, and it was just like, it wasn't working. And I had got to the point, I remember I was in Atlanta for a women, it was actually an entrepreneurship conference for women in Atlanta. And I was talking to a person, and then, like, that, at that conference, I had made up in my mind, like, I was done. And I remember crying out to God, and I'm like, Lord, I'm just tired of dealing with the same old thing. Like, I fully surrender everything to you. And when that happened, it was literally, you know what, actually at that conference too, once I said that, I think it was like the very next day, like, a lady had asked us to write down our goals and our 5-year plan and talk about who you want to be married to, where would you like to be working at, or what type of business you would like to have. So I began to do, like, all those different things. And it's funny, I had put Davon on my 5-year list.
Wow.
I didn't even know, you know, like, I didn't know his situation or anything like that. But I knew, just from knowing him, I had liked the type of person that he was, the way he honored and he respected my dad. They had a great relationship. And he was just, you know, a good person to be around. So I had put him on my list, not knowing, like, I kid you not, that very next, I think it was the next week, we ended up connecting. He wasn't in a relationship. He was single, and we ended up connecting. And I was like, this is kind of weird because, and I didn't even tell him, like, at that time I had put him on, like, my 5-year list. I don't think that wasn't until later. So we ended up connecting, and then from there on out, we dated, and then next thing you know, we got married, and then had a baby, house, everything. So it's crazy how God works. And I think God will put you in a position to where you completely surrender unto him because he wants you to stop doing it.
Mm.
Get a blessing and really wait on what he has for you. So that's kind of how that played out with meeting my husband, Davon.
That is awesome. That's awesome. And the fact that you continuously, I mean, even going to a marriage retreat, you're still working on your relationship. Yeah. And the fact that I didn't know you knew him for all these years. I've seen you together and things, and I always said, oh, you can see the God in your relationship. You can see the God in your marriage, the connection that you all have. I didn't know. This is my first time knowing that you've been knowing him prior for so many years. But when God shows up, he shows out, right?
Definitely does. Yes, he does.
Well, as our life shows up and shows out and we go through our wrinkles, the woman that you are today, and you got a t-shirt made, what would that t-shirt say?
I actually have a t-shirt on right now too.
Oh.
It says, it's a little like, my baby. She like, so it's a little messy, but it says she realized her worth and the game changed.
Yes, indeed.
So once I really realized who God called me to be, who I was, it's certain things that I set in place for myself. Like I set boundaries for myself when it came to other people. Just even things that I used to do, like I wouldn't allow myself to do that anymore because it's like, look, you got to know your worth. Don't drop your standards. Don't, take your standards lower, but keep them high. Keep your expectations high. And so that's what I feel like is when I really, like I said, I had to allow God to redefine my worth. Like my life changed, the game changed for me. I'm no longer the same. Like I walk in confidence, I walk in boldness, I walk with my head up high. But still having a humble heart and a humble spirit as well to be able to talk to people and be approachable, which I think is important. So
important. I love that. I love that. I'm going to have to get that on a shirt as well.
Yes.
So as the game changed, I know you're out here changing the game as well. What are you doing in the community right now that is providing that change?
So I know right now we're working, so we do work in ministry too with my dad. We're like millennial leaders there. So we're working at Coolidge New Destiny Christian Center. We're the millennial leaders, me and my husband there. So I'm doing that. And then I have my newest venture. It's the book that I'm working on in the community. I'll be having my book launch. It's called Boss Up After Breakup. And it's pretty much talking about the journey of going through breakup and divorce. So I'm not just talking about my divorce, but I'm talking about breakups, on how to overcome and get past them and become the person that God called you to be, bouncing back. So this is coming out. I'm not going to give you all the details. You got to read it, but it'll be August 5th. Saturday, August 5th will be the book launch at the Pita Patio Grill in Coolidge. So you can definitely get a book. And then I'll have my website up. It'll be VanishaLashay.com. It's not live right now, but during that week of, it will be live.
Awesome. Congratulations on the book. And I mean, the fact that you said, learning how to boss up after breakup, and that could be with any relationship, friendships, just, learning how to be a better you altogether. Mm-hmm. Now, is it also, you purchase it on your website, Amazon, what places?
You will be able to purchase it on my website. And then I'm working on getting it on Amazon as well. And then my goal is to get it into Barnes & Noble. So I'm working on that as well.
Well, definitely come in, and it will be on our website, on Barnes & Nobles. Whenever you get it, wherever you can purchase it, let us know so we can update everyone. Go out and get the book. Go out for the book launch. So excited for you. And this must be the first of many, right?
Yes, it is. This is my very first book. Like God, and God, he told me to write this book because I never even thought about writing a book, but I feel like it was something that was needed. He put it on my heart to do, and it's something I'm passionate about because it's my life. I lived it, and what better than a person that's going through it to help somebody else that may be going through it right now. So definitely get it for you girls. It's definitely a girl's book, teaching you different strategies and tools on how to overcome a breakup and divorce. So
Awesome. Well, get it for your book club, get it for your girlfriend so y'all can read it together and compare notes and talk about it. Sounds like it's a book to have your little live discussion about, because this is what a lot of us go through, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you see the links coming across there, purchase these books. You see the address for the book signing. Go out and go for the book launch so you can meet this a beautiful, amazing author, and you can ask her any questions in person. We're so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. And anything else that you would like to add?
No, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity again. I never take it for granted. And such a beautiful woman as yourself, I know that you've overcome so many things and God is still elevating you and doing great things in your life. So I just want to say thank you and love you. Appreciate it.
I'm so excited. Well, we're going to get this book, and when the next one come out, we're going to have you back. And then when the other one come out, we're going to have you back. So you keep pushing, you keep doing the great things you're doing too.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Bye, Wrinkles.